What's up, guys? I'm here in Mesquite, Texas, visiting Fun Superstore to pick up my first ever limited edition pinball machine. My buddy Eric from Titan Pinball and a supporter of the channel was gracious enough to help me pick this game up and unbox it on his country property, the Snake Ranch. After we did the live unboxing for my patrons and put a dozen or so games on it, we loaded it up and I took it home to really dive into it. Now I currently have over 100 games on this beast, so let's talk about it. And here it is, guys, out of the box, King Kong LE. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the things I love about this game and the things that I...
Give me my damn ball. Give it to me.
Don't like so much. Now, in a lot of my previous content when it comes to what I think about these games, it's merely me just having a bunch of, I say a bunch, but a few games on it and telling you how I feel about it. Whereas this, I have the game here. And now I've got a lot of games on it. So now we're gonna take the glass off. I want to get in deep with the playfield for you right here and go over some of the shots and layouts. So let's go over shots and layout real quick. I'll try to make as brief as I possibly can, guys, just to give you an idea of where the ball can travel and how the playfield layout works. And going from the left side and working our way over, we have the very far left orbit that goes up, and I'll get a camera in there so you can see it, but it has the option to feed down this way or all the way over behind this to your upper flipper right here, if you have enough momentum. And you'll see why it requires a little bit of momentum, because there's a small little gradual hill back behind here that allows the ball to separate from this whole region that we have down below Kong. Now the next shot over is your left ramp. This one goes up, 180s around, feeds to your upper flipper. Every time the ball hits here, it's going to set up your shot for your upper flipper. Very nice. Now the shots for your upper flipper are 2, but possibly 3, honestly, but 2 for a guaranteed. The third one is if you're able to hit up this ramp right here, which is honestly, I think it's just blind luck if you hit this particular post at a correct angle. I've had it go up this ramp before. But otherwise, you've got 2 shots. One shot, which is probably the nicest, satisfying shot in this game, goes up this ramp, and then it spirals back down here and all the way down to your left flipper. And then the other shot goes up and does a 180 around and feeds over back down to this area right here to this upper flipper. Now again, this is the premium LE playfield, but your ramp has 2 paths it can take, depending on if your ball lock is lit or not. If the ball lock is not lit, it will go up, go behind this back panel, and feed all the way down to your right flipper. Now, if you have the ball lock lit, it goes up this ramp. There's a diverter back here. Let me show you. This diverter right here actuates and changes the ball path between going towards the train to lock your ball or to the ramp that feeds your left flipper, or left flipper, I'm sorry. And when it feeds the mechanism, it feeds it right here into this train car. The train car is able to dump the balls out like that. And 2 out of 3 typically go to feed your upper right flipper. And the third one, sometimes it goes down there, but a lot more times than not, it flies out, hits the glass, or goes down. It's more chaos. The third one isn't a guarantee that I have seen. Next shot over down here is the Opto Spinner. This feeds up underneath all of this, back down this path to your upper flipper. Next shot over is the Gong. Now this is a very nice, honestly. It gives you the ability to have rebound, but it also later on gives you the ability for it to swing open when you hit it to feed the VUC. The VUC that is down there will launch the ball onto this wire form that feeds down onto your right flipper. And the next shot over on the very far right orbit that goes all the way up here will feed on up underneath here and can spiral around over here to hit this kickback target. Sometimes it'll kick back and launch the ball all the way around back to feed your upper flipper again. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does it just enough, but it doesn't actually hit it very hard, and it just falls down into this area down here. You also have the ability for it to hit this switch up in there. Might get the camera angle in there right. Well, if the ball falls down there, where does it go to? Well, that hole leads to this VUC down here. Same area will launch and feed to your right flipper. And then further down we have the concave. You feed this behind the upper flipper and it will launch back up and feed to your right flipper. Let me give you a little visual of what Kong looks like. This panel right here looks like it would be removed, so you could do, not you personally, but what Stern at the factory will do when it comes to putting him together. But that's how the mechanism essentially looks right there. So there you have basically the complete layout for King Kong on your premium LE. And I basically have a list of the things that I would consider pros and cons. My game is currently running on code 0.82, and I'm very well aware that some of my cons will no longer be a con as the code develops. Let's go down my list of pros right here, and the very first thing I've got is quite obviously the shots and layout. I'm loving this layout, and I love the shots. This is a combo fanatics wet dream. The way I love games that allow you to set up a shot from one flipper to the next flipper to get you to somewhere else, and I love loopable, repeatable shots if you're skilled enough, and this game's got it all. And like I said, I pointed out one of the things when it comes to the skill shot, and that's on my things that I also like, is that there's multiple skill shots. You could go for the main one, but there's other ones that you could also go for, but the one that I particularly enjoyed that I just kind of discovered on my own, and I'm sure there's probably a better one, but the one I particularly like involves feeding to another flipper to hit another ramp. It's just, in my opinion, much more enjoyable of a skill shot compared to other game skill shots that I've played. All right, so when you start a game, the game's gonna want you to go for right here for your skill shot. See how it's just strobing like, yeah, this is what you want. This is the skill shot that you want. Don't bother with that crap. That's a crap skill shot. The one you want is to launch forward to this upper flipper and then go for the ramp. And I do it myself, but I had Joel on Flipping Out Pinball give you an example.
There it is! There you go! There it was, Cary!
I like that emote.
I did the thing, Cary. Are you still here? Cary, I did the thing, Cary. Cary, are you here?
And it's not just the layout and the shots and the combos, it's when it comes to code, how the modes so far that we have are utilizing different areas of the playfield. It's almost like it's, segmenting out certain portions of the playfield for you to utilize and progressing through the mode. And particularly, you have the crossing the chasm, where you have to utilize your upper left portion of the playfield that feeds to your upper right flipper and get it back over there, and you repeat that shot to get through that particular mode. And then there's another mode, the pterodactyl mode, I believe, where you have to hit the drop targets and then go to the other side of the playfield into the concave. I'm loving that. The river mode, you have to just hit a particular shot over and over again. I could go through every mode and tell you that I enjoy it, because it's not just a mode, everything is lit, hit it kind of thing. And that's what I'm liking also, is that even on your multi-ball, your King Kong multi-ball, you don't just immediately have everything lit. You need to hit all your drop targets in order for you to even start getting jackpots. So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, cool, I'm in multi-ball and I can hit other shots that are lit green, but if I really want to rack up a good score with using jackpots, then I need to knock down these drop targets so that way I got something else that will get more points. And then you also have the fact that there's like multiple objectives if you want to. Like for me particularly, there was one time where I mainly just wanted to see how high up the building I could get. So I was just climbing, just aiming for the climb up shots. And there's always climb up arrows that you can hit. I think the ABC of King Kong probably is always be climbing if you want to basically progress that way. Something else that I really enjoy is having the ability to manually activate the log diverter for your upper left flipper. Aside from shots and layout, I mean, I'm loving the playfield. That's said and done. I love it. But what also is impressed me is the audio package on this game. Jerry Thompson, you're doing great. I dare I say this is at least one of your best works so far. And it's sad that a lot of people on locations or going to these particular shows are not going to really like hear it and really appreciate it because they're not in a home setting. If there's ever a time, guys, that you're able to play this and completely like engross yourself and hear the orchestration that he has put together on this, you will appreciate this game so much more. And particularly the biplane mode, whenever that's going on, just the music that goes along with it, it really it like brings me into that mode. But the orchestration overall is really good. I'm loving the audio. There was only one small little thing that was just bothered me about audio-wise. I even reached out to Jerry, told him about it. He agreed. It will be fixed coming up. So, but other than that one little small call-out, I have no issues with what we got going on with the sound. And I'm loving these are just things that are popping in my head as I'm talking about the game, guys. But a biplane, when you're in that mode, and every time that you hit a spinner or it's the sound effect of the gun firing on the plane, the shaker motor is like synced with the gunfire. So when it's like the shaker motor is doing the shaking. So I really enjoyed that. That really brought me into the world that I was playing in at that time too. It just something I really enjoyed, something to point out. So if you plan on getting a pro or a premium and you don't have a shaker motor, I recommend that you get one in this game. So let's talk a little bit about the visuals on the screen. Now, this is something that's difficult for me to completely judge because most of the time I'm staring down at the playfield. But from what I've seen, I don't have any complaints. From while I'm playing, things are going on, I'm missing it, but whenever I do get a chance to look up at it, everything seems fine to me. Okay, so let's talk about the cons. Some of these can be fixed in code, some of them I don't think they can, and it's just the nature of the beast with this game. Without a doubt, the most common way I have drained on this game is that damn left out lane. That lane has caught more balls than... I'm going to try to keep this video clean, but you know where I'm going with that more than likely for you guys that are up here. But that drain, my Lanta, that thing is just I'm almost thought that there was a magnet there at one point to where it just seemed like everything was just going to that left out lane. Sometimes I got lucky and it managed to bump a little bit and go into feed my flipper. So that was nice, but it's very rare that it happens. More commonly than not, that left out lane is a killer for me, at least. This bastard right here. Oh, I feel like there's a magnet right here or something. God. Next up is the spider magnet. This little guy right here is not a problem. He just does his little thing. He reacts with the ball that's, being attracted by the magnet down here. The issue I have with this
is that it's not a pop bumper, but it might as well be sometimes because, you know, it doesn't just grab the ball and then let go of it. It sometimes flings it. Sometimes it'll fling it down the middle. Sometimes it'll fling it over here to the left out lane. Or sometimes it'll fling it up playfield. You just don't know. So it's a randomness that's pretty close. So it's already a little chaotic if you get to right here. So don't just assume that you're safe because this little guy, which is actually the magnet, may cause you some problems.
Now, this is something that's at least on my game. I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, but it's the ball flying off the helix wire form because it's going so damn fast. And there's just times where it shoots up that ramp, comes swinging down that wire form, and it just flies straight off. And I've even had it to where it flies straight off and goes directly down the damn middle. Now, this is something that's going to be the nature of the beast of the game. I don't see this changing, obviously, but this is going to be for the premium/LEs, and that is that King Kong, his movements, and the whole multi-ball thing really slows down gameplay. And it didn't bother me at first on this because, like, oh, it's cool, but after you've played this a while, I really do feel that the whole Kong and the train thing is going to get old. I'm already feeling me wanting to skip past it. Like, come on, let's get back to shooting kind of thing. And so that's why I lean towards the Pro when it comes to something like that. But man, you're missing out on the gong, which I really enjoy having in the premium LE model. That gong is pretty cool because it gives you the ability to have where it ricochets and comes back to you, but if you hit it enough, you're able to break through and move on. Whereas you're never going to have that on your Pro. It's always just going to go straight into the VUC and then feed back to your flipper kind of thing. Whereas the premium, it's kind of a dangerous shot almost all the time. And not to mention, I still don't know if it's by design, but it's always the last ball in the train that typically flies out and hits the glass and kind of goes wherever. I don't think that's a good thing over time. If it's by design, okay, and there's no concerns about your glass having issues from taking the hits over and over again on this type of thing, but it's not consistent. That's why I don't think it's by design, because I've had it where times where all three balls roll out into my right orbit and all is hunky-dory, but then there's also more often than not where the ball flies out of there and goes somewhere random. I mean, you definitely get the whole, like, oh, it's chaos, but there's also the concern of, like, is it going to damage something?
Will it fly up or not?
What are you gonna do, Kong? What are you gonna do? There's that one. And I guess my final con that is, I'm hoping, going to be resolved over time in the code. It has to be, because I don't understand why the game doesn't recognize that I've hit a ball that direction when there's an opto that should tell the game that I have placed a ball that direction, and the game should go, okay, what orientation is Kong in? And adjust. But there's been quite a few times where my ball goes up the ramp and it's supposed to load into the train, and it can't. And it's the typical third ball for the train where it should stop. But for whatever reason, there's times where Kong is not where he's supposed to be, causing the ball to sit there. Then the game has to do a ball search, and sometimes it throws me into an unwanted multi-ball. So, like I said, that should be getting resolved in code in the future. We are now on 0.82 code, and this shit still happens. There it goes. Oh my god. Kong, you're starting to piss me off, man. Oh, thank you. Are we going to go into a 2-ball multi-ball? No, not this time around? All right, thank you. I mean, dude, what's your problem? Quit blocking my damn ball. Thank you. Oh my god, this is where I'm going to get a 2-ball multi-ball. Yay. No. Son of a... Could have played it, but I only got one hand. Kong, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? What is this? Just
Give me the ball. Give it to me.
Thank you. All right. Sweet. It figured itself out.
Give me my damn ball. Give it to me.
That'll work. And I want to say that's my current cons for King Kong, at least when it comes to a player's perspective and how I feel about the gameplay. I know a lot of you have seen my viral video in regards to how I feel about the LE model, but I still held true that my video was in regards to the LE itself and not the game. The game is super fun. Even if it's not the assets and the way that you perceive Kong to be, you're still going to enjoy playing this game. And one of the great things about this particular game is that the Pro model, you're getting all of the shots that the Premium LE has. The wireforms, the ramps, you're getting all of the real fun. You're not missing out on anything except for that gong. I really wish that the Pro could have that gong, but I know there's going to be mods out there that will give you semi of that kind of feeling. So you're not going to get the spider. Someone's going to mod that. That's probably the first thing. The gong, someone's going to mod that. You're not going to get the whole moving Kong, but like I said, as of right now, it might be a little more trouble than it's worth. And there's a couple of little side details, and I know there's many more that I'm probably missing out on, but the finer little details that I noticed that I want to point out is obviously there's these lights that are on the end lanes that are torches, and the way they have got them coded to kind of flicker and go in and out to make it seem like they're torches. Nice little touch. Also, when it comes to the general illumination, Keith has got us a bulb on a post to shine down on that upper left-hand region near the drop targets, because there was nowhere else where he could put a GI bulb, more than likely. So he wanted to keep that area lit, so he's got it on a post. Very handy. I really enjoyed that. And it comes to other little things when it comes to Easter eggs. I already spoke to Jerry about this. I'm loving the ad-libbing and the little call-outs and notes to other licenses out there when it comes to like James Bond. I had a whole list of things that they were quoting, and I was like, was that a Breaking Bad comment kind of thing? You know, like, I am the danger. I mean, there's little things here and there that if you catch, that's why I really recommend you play this game to where you can hear the audio, because the audio for this game is really, really good. And the gameplay to go along with it, awesome. But that is my current situation and how I feel about King Kong. This is not a review, merely how I think about the game at this current point in time. The goal is that I will be doing other stuff for my patrons when it comes to this content in regards to King Kong. Review will obviously be the last thing I probably do for it before this game gets raffled off to my Patreon supporters. But how I feel right now, if I was to keep this game, not the LE obviously, but if I was to get another tier, I might lean towards the Pro, honestly. I know currently premiums are shipping out this week, so you're gonna start seeing Kongs all over the place. By all means, get out there, play this game, and if you have already, let me know how you feel about it in the comments section down below. And even if you haven't played it, I still want to hear from you down below, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And of course, a special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. This content would not be possible without them. If you would like to join the Hardy Party, link will be in the video description down below.